Hi everyone, welcome back to another live stream on Faraday Academy. Looks like the stream is good now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started talking about the app. Yeah, I'm in a winter coat right now because for some reason my office is freezing cold. It feels like it's 50 or 60 degrees in here, so I'm going to have to look at it after the stream. But it's okay for right now. So if you haven't tuned in before, this is the app I've been building for 16 streams so far. This is the 17th in the series. This is the curriculum app. Looking back, I probably should have picked a less complicated app to get started with, but I think it's been going okay. So if you go to my GitHub Gwen F and look at the curriculum app repo, you can see I kind of detail the project here. I did just update the mockups just to give it some more color and fix the styling issues that I had before, just a little bit. And what else did I do? Oh yeah, I've been updating and working on some of the tasks that I need to do. I've been writing some content for a few of these to turn them into issues so that they have more information. So I'm going to work on this, I think another 5 or 6 live streams, and then reassess if I want to continue live streaming this app or maybe continue building this off stream and start another app. Something that I can get done in maybe 4 or 5 streams and get it out there, because I have a couple things that I would like to finish or live stream and finish and get hosted as well. So here's this is a really small change, so I just went ahead and put it in progress because this will only take a few minutes. This is the main issue I want to work on today. So basically in my API, it's not for these, I guess, resource endpoints, it's not doing exactly what I want to do. So I want to restructure the patch request a little bit to update nested objects, like nested objects in an array inside of Mongo. So I'm going to do that. And this is kind of what my idea is from how I think the query in Mongo will work, but I haven't tested this code out yet. So we're going to test out something like this today. I just wanted to do a little bit of research so I wasn't being too quiet on stream or taking too long. Yeah, so let's get started. I already started the back end and the front end, and here's the running app. I might do some more with Vuetify here too, actually. Hey Mohammed, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. So I might do some more with Vuetify actually here too, because this wouldn't be that hard to go ahead and finish these. Put in some Vuetify sheets with spacing, and Vuetify has some nice elements that are pretty much already pre-built, like footers and stuff that you can use. So I might use that. Anyway, let's get started looking at the API. So where's my code? Here it is. So in the back end, I have the curricula here. So I have this route is /curricula, and this is /curricula/ID, which works. And then I need another route, which I think I'm going to have to put before this one, because this will capture, I'm pretty sure this will capture anything that's /ID. And since I want to do /ID, /ID, where is it? /resources/resource ID, I'm going to have to put this route I'm building before. So I'm going to put it here for now, and then maybe eventually I'll break it out into its own file and use like a router.use type of thing so I can nest it more. well, depending on how long this file gets. So yeah, so I'll start with this, and then I'll do slash. And another thing here is that I have slash resources or slash projects, but they're both going to be doing the same thing. So I think I might try and see how this looks if I do slash type, which will be resources or projects. But then I'm going to have to check and handle the case that someone passes in something that's not a resource or a project. So let me try that. And then I'll say type ID, because it will be resource ID or project ID. And then I don't want a getter for this. And actually the reason why I'm making this is so it can be updated outside of updating because in the patch request right now, I'm basically passing in the entire object to update. And when you look at these objects, where is it? When you look, this is the schema. So when you look at the object, most of the time, all I want to do is check off a box. Is it complete or is it not complete? And that's it. So, I mean, I could have a special endpoint that says check or uncheck. But then again, if someone wants to update the name or the URL, I'll have a different endpoint, which seems like too many endpoints. My hair is not staying out of my face right now. All right. So yeah, so basically when I only want to update one nested thing in an object inside of an array, which is inside of another array, then I don't want to update the whole parent, because this is a document database and there's several nested arrays. I just feel like it can get really big really quickly, so I want to kind of drill down to only the thing that I want to update, if that makes sense. So here, anyways, I'm going to do patch, and which will be an async function, and I guess I'm putting a space here. Request response. And then let's see. So I want to do curriculum. I already have coming from the database. So let's say that const doc equals await, and then this is where I'm going to look at whatever I wrote down. So I was going to use the find one. So I guess I could just use find by ID, because then I would have it too. But then I'm wondering if find by ID will only do the parent object maybe, versus find one. Between find one and find by ID. So this person had the same question. So, okay. Find by ID is just a convenience function, does the exact same thing. Oh, this person says it's almost equivalent. If you want to query by a documents ID, which is not what we want to do, use find by ID instead of find one. Actually, it's a nested document, so maybe if you use find one, you'll see that find one undefined and find one ID undefined are equivalent to find one and return arbitrary documents. That's wonderful. However, Mongoose translates find by ID undefined to find one ID null. That's just weird. Okay. So this is Mongoose find by ID, value of ID to query by. So yeah, I guess let me just see. Oops. I guess I'll just see if it does find it. And then I could just use the type ID. And then I might not need these variables in this function, but let me see. So curriculum. Yeah, or I could just combine this and make these optional maybe. Okay, I'm thinking ahead. Let me find by ID, and then I'll put request.params and then .type ID. And let's see if it finds the nested one. And then I'm just going to log this out. Doc. And then doc. Actually, JSON.stringify doc. Okay. And then let me call this endpoint. So first let me put http:// localhost. My backend's running on 5000. And then I have API/v1/curricula. And then I need an ID, so let me go ahead and run get. So this is weird. Okay, those were old. Let me get projects, resources, one that actually has projects and resources in it. Here we go. So test curriculum with this ID. Okay, so it has one project, one resource in it. And then let me take, let's say, this project ID. So let's grab that. And it doesn't matter what I put here because I haven't checked anything yet, but I'll put this and then /project ID. Now it should be searching the Dynamo should be searching for this object ID. Let's see. Cannot get. So it did. Hey Abdul, how are you? So it is searching mongoose-find. Okay, mongoose-find one. Oh, this was the one before. So this is the one that just executed on our last endpoint. And it's not returning anything. So let me change it to, let's take just the ID then. And oh, right. I can't make a get request. This is only a patch request, so I need to change this to a patch. That's why. All right. So now I'm making a patch request to this. Okay, and I have to actually, I always do this just in case. The content type, and then application JSON. which, oh, I guess I'm not passing anything here. I thought it was a post request. Okay, never mind. So oh, I know why. So this never finishes because I'm not doing a res.send. So I could just do, actually, res.send doc. Yeah. And of course it's not returning anything in doc, so it's not finding that object. But if I do, let's say ID, if I find the whole document, I think it will return here. Yeah, so it returned the correct document, but it's not finding a nested document. So I'm going to have to do something else. And so in the past when I used Mongo, I would use like, what was it, like $set, and then it goes into nested object syntax, which I can never remember without looking up, because it's just, it's not that intuitive. But the example that I had here seemed like it would be easier or more Mongoose-esque anyway. So here I could just pass a query to find one with the item ID. I think that I have to find the item first. I'm not sure. And then in my doc, so I found one, doc.items.id. Okay, so here I think I can use, so let me rewrite that actually. So I'm going to keep it like it is. I'm finding the parent object, and then, which I think covers this. I don't think I need all of that extra stuff. So then here I can do doc.items.id. Let's see. So if it was doc.items.id equals, no, that's a method. And some of this is just purely me trying to figure out what it might be. So doc.items.id, and this would have to be, I guess, type. So it would be resources or, oh, but then it would be in sections. So I guess it would be doc.sections. Well, let me see what doc is, because it got returned in REST client. Yeah, so it's exactly this, the whole document. So I think what I can do, doc.sections, and then pass in the variable from my params, this type, and pass that in here, and then .id and pass it the type ID, which I should just pull all of these, off of params. I'll do that in a second. Okay, so now I think I have the item. And then you're supposed to be able to update the item and then save it. So let me try to just see if I got the item first. So let me send back the item. Okay, let me see. Nope, it definitely doesn't like that. Property ID of undefined. So it's not getting this value, basically. So let me, what am I sending in here? So projects, so that should be, I wonder if I can't send in multiple, because maybe this isn't equal to anything either. So let me see. Let me send back request.params. All right. Oh, it's not getting there because I have an error. Oh well, okay. So type is definitely defined. Type ID is correct. Everything is coming back correct. Okay. Request.params. By the way, I am looking for a way to debug Node outside of Chrome, because I would just really don't like using Chrome. I haven't found a very good alternative to using debugger outside of Chrome. The Node dev tools, the terminal works okay. Of course, it's not as good as using the Chrome interface. So if anyone has a tool to use, yeah, it's unfortunate that we can't use Firefox or something like that to debug Chrome. Anyway, if you know of another tool or a good system, then let me know. So let's see. Request, what was I doing? I can't remember what I was doing now. Oh, right. So that means that doc.sections .this is coming back as undefined, I guess. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, it's not working. So I think that I just can't access this. I'm gonna have to, let me look at the Mongoose docs and see. So what am I searching for? So let's see. So find by ID. So sections. Oh, I know why. So this is coming out. I think this is coming out correct. But the problem is that, so, okay, let me copy this. And then, because it's an array, so I'm not accessing it on the array. So I have projects. So I need to know which one on the nested array it is. Okay. So I do have an ID, so maybe I need the ID of the section. Yeah, I need the ID of the section as well as the ID of the resource or project to update. Because it doesn't appear, I mean, let me look again, but Mongoose search for nested object in array. Let's see, nested arrays in Mongoose. In the collection I'm working in, a document looks like this. Okay, so it's arrays nested inside of an array. I wrote this schema. Okay, that doesn't really nest correctly. 2012, thanks. Okay, so maybe not a good answer. Find a document within an array that contains a specific value. So this is 6 years ago. I have this schema. Okay, so this is presumably an array of strings or yeah, so that's not what I'm looking for either. So this is 2017, that's better. Yeah, this is what I'm doing with children. Objects inside of an array. And then he has another array listed. Okay, so that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, maybe this is something I should just do off stream or work on off stream and then just explain it next stream. I feel like I'm going to have to do a lot of reading. Though I could mongoose update document in array. If it loads. Though I could do the Mongo update. Or no, I think it was set. This one. So I could set the nested object. Okay, that's not loading. Mongoose. Okay, this one is. And this is actually just a few weeks ago. Working with subdocuments. Subdocuments are documents that are nested in other documents. You can spot a subdocument when a schema is nested in another schema. They call subdocuments embedded documents. Okay. So updating character schema. Let's say we want to create a character called Rue. Rue has 3 special moves. Okay, so they're giving an example. So an array of objects. This is exactly what we are doing. Okay, you can also use the child schema syntax if you want to. Okay, so we're using this syntax. It appears to be the same thing that he's doing. Creating documents that contain subdocuments. Okay, we already got to that point. So you can pass the entire object, which is what we were doing at first, but that was too much. So, because here it's passing the entire array with all of the nested objects. Okay, method 2, adding subdocuments later. Okay, so they create the document with just the name, and then they add subdocuments. Okay. Okay. So this is about the same thing we were trying to do with the original code that I had, because it was, oh, I guess I erased it. But here, update and then dot save. Oops, where's it? So, okay. The easiest way is to use find one, get the array, change the array, and run save. For example, let's say we want to add something to the array. First we find, so they're finding the parent document by the name, we're finding it by ID, which is the, so that's the same as what we have here. And then, all right, so, and then Rio, yeah. Specials, okay. So you can get the specials off of that, which is just what we were doing here. That's the same doc.sections. We were getting the sections off of the document. And then, so specials array is a normal JavaScript array. Yep. So you can push. That's good. So I guess we should be able to update. Yeah, that's the thing. So we need to just find, I think the complication here is because it's nested twice, because I have sections, which is objects nested in an array, and then inside of that I have this nested. So okay, I don't think that, yeah, it's not going to tell me anything new, but I think this is a well laid out article. So so I need to pass in this object ID as well as this object ID. So let me see how that's going to work. I might break up the API because I definitely don't want to do /section/ section ID /type /type it. That's just too much because it's already curricula /ID. But it might be what I have to do. I definitely can't put, I won't put two IDs next to each other. Yeah, so let me try this until I think of something better, I guess. All right. So let's see. I need to be passing in the section ID now. So now I'm going to borrow this ID and put it here. Okay, cannot patch. Something's wrong here. /sections. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay, there we go. Yep, so now that's working. So now I have the section ID. So this is basically what I need to do is, and this is going to be pretty long. So doc /sections, and then find it by the section ID. Let's see, section equals doc.sections. Get rid of that. And then .id will be section ID. And let me actually see if that comes back with the right thing. .sections and then presumably this will find the ID, but we'll see. Yeah, sweet. See how there's no array around the outside, so it just got the section with this ID. Awesome. That's great. So that's good. So now we'll have item. I guess I'll change this to const because it doesn't change now. So item will equal let's say section dot no, and then I'll do type. So request.params.type .id, because this will be the array of either resources or projects, and then .id. And now I can pass in actually I'm just going to pull these off of request.params already because there's too many of them. So let's see, ID, there's section ID, there's type, and type ID, and then equals request.params. So here I'll just do that, and then section ID, and then here is type. Okay, and then type ID here. Okay, and I think that will come back with the right item. Oops, get it here. I think so. Yay, sweet. And now I can just update these and save it. Okay. Whew. All right, so item, and then what am I going to update on here? So I need to pass in, right now I'm not passing in anything. Oh, right, I did need to pass in body. So let's say is completed is true. I'm going to have to put these in quotes. Okay, so is completed is true. And yeah, because it will be item, and then I'm just going to hard code the part here. Although I guess, okay. So I could do, let's say item equals item, and then everything on item could go into the new item except overwrite anything that I passed in, which is dangerous, but we'll just see how it works. No. Yeah, and then destructure anything on here. And then this is the new item. Yeah, well, I'd rather call this like updated item or something else, just so it's more clear. So this, I'm passing in this item, and then request.body. Okay, so I'm not going to overwrite this anywhere. All right, so now I have to define this one though. So updated item, and after that I can do doc.save, right? Is it doc.save? Doc.save, yeah. Let's try that anyway. See what happens. And this is async, so I'm going to put in a wait there. And then get rid of that. Okay. So I saved everything. Let me try sending it. Okay, I mean, not that I'm doing any error handling anyway, but it seems like it might have worked. So let me actually save this query somewhere. So I'm not having to type in that whole thing again. So let me, actually I can save it in here. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to just get this, and see if it updated to true. And it did not. So something was wrong. Especially since here, oh, this might just mean that it found one, not that it. So it seems like it didn't even run a query to update. Let's see. Oh, by the way, in Mongoose, I'm getting these query logs because I set debug to true just so I could see them. Okay. So updated item. Maybe I should make a GET request for this. Probably just for testing, but so let me. And then I'll return. I guess I'll just return item. Yeah. So now if I send a GET request, it returns the correct item. Is completed as false. And why can't I do is completed is true? So somehow I'm not doing the correct thing, but I think this, because I'm putting a lot of internal Mongoose properties on it, maybe that's not the right way that I should be doing it. And I guess there's only 4 properties on the object. So, I mean, it wouldn't take that much work to just, I guess, wait, yeah, to just update these 4. Let me see. So instead of that, I'll just do item dot, oh, let's see. So is completed is item dot is completed name and URL. So name and URL. And then ID. Oh, I'm not sure I can touch this. So let me put a try catch around here actually. Try indent all of this and then put catch. An error, and let's say res.send I don't know if we should send just a general. I think I can send like 500 and then the error message. Or maybe res.status. Let me see what it is. Res.status. Status. Express.js. And a JSON content. Yeah, that's what I want. So here's res.status. Yeah, so it was res.status.send. Okay, good. Res.status for some primitive error handling. And then, yeah, let me see if this is actually going to return an error. Did I send a patch request? Okay, so now it's working. Why is it working now? Did I do something different? Oh, I did this. But now there's no ID. I thought maybe Mongo was going to take care of that. Okay, well, I guess they didn't. So let's see. Yeah, I guess I'm just overriding the object. So let me put type ID in here. Give it the ID again. Yeah, so now it's back to normal and it's true. Okay, sweet. And now I can also catch an error only in this endpoint and in no other endpoint right now. I should add something to every endpoint. Okay, so now that I have this long endpoint, I should put this in the front end and make calls with it. And let me put like a doc string or whatever here. This function. All right. Where is, got buried here. I think I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. Though this person does a good job. I like this blog or whatever it is. All right, I'll get rid of that. Definitely get rid of that. And now I have my front end. So, oh, one more thing that I want to do is, oh, let me send a GET request to this. And then I just want to clean out a couple of these. So let me send a delete. Delete. Success, good. And then GET request. Delete. All right. And then let me delete one more. So let me delete this one because some of this is old data when I had a different schema. And I should have just wiped it all out. I actually need like a database clean function. Okay, so that's deleted. And get. Oh, this is really old. This is when I made a mistake and Dynamo was storing each letter as a string. So that's really messy. So let's see. Delete. And yeah. So that's also older, I guess. Yeah, it's not updated data. So one more. Let me do that. and delete. Okay, so now, okay, so I'll delete those later. So this is the one I've been working off of. And now when I check these, I want it to call the correct endpoint, because right now it's still calling this endpoint, which updates the whole object. Yeah, so actually here I'm going to want to break this up, because sometimes I'm just going to want to update section. So I'll do that in a second. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, the front end. So on the front end, in my views, I have display. So to display a single curriculum, I have the checkbox. Yeah, these checkboxes call this toggle complete function, which is here. And then I send it all of the sections, and then also the ID of the curriculum. But instead now, I'm going to send it just the things that I need. So I do need the curriculum ID, so that's fine. And I'm going to need the type and the section ID, and then what's the other thing that I need? I don't need the body. What was the other thing that I need? Oh yeah, I need the item ID. Item. I should just pass in the whole item actually. So selected curriculum. So where's my V model? So the V model, okay, so once I get the item, so the item will have the correct changes on it. So I'm going to pass in this, and I think this will be my item. So this dot curriculum dot sections dot section index dot type. So first I need to pull this off, because I need the sections. So, and actually I already have sections here, so I can do const, let's see, section equals section index. And then, so I have section, and from that I can get section dot ID. And then, so here I can shorten this. I can just say section dot type index. Okay, and then I have to update the Vue.x. So what's my Vue.x file? That will be in actions. So in my actions, I have let's see. Let's see, so I have in my actions the this patch curriculum is what I'm doing. And I can't, this is too broad actually. I need to add another action. And because I'm going to have to make different calls based off of which one I'm updating, sections or items or the whole curriculum. So here I'm going to do patch section and patch type. So resource or project. And let me just copy these. Okay. So I'll pull these off since I'm passing them in. Oh, I forgot. Okay. So curriculum ID. It's a payload. And then this is going to be pretty long. So let me do that. So it's going to have to be curriculum ID slash sections slash section ID and then slash type and then slash item dot ID, and then instead of body I'm going to pass in item here, which will be the item object. Okay, which will mean this will just overwrite the whole object anyways in the back end, but oh well, it's good enough for now. So then I guess updated curriculum. I could restructure the whole curriculum to update it on the front end in the Vuex state, or I could just pass it in because it's already updated here. So I could just pass in this dot selected curriculum. And then I wouldn't need to pass in the ID, so I could just do this. Oh, but I already have access to this on state though. Because, well, wait, selected curriculum. Oh, I'm setting that on mount, so it's not on state. Never mind. So yeah, so I could pass it in here. And just completely overwrite the other one. And then I don't need the ID because I can just get that. So, and that would just make it easier for right now for my actions, because I could just pass in the full updated curriculum on the front end until a new one gets pulled from the back end. So curriculum, and instead of this, I'll do this. And then this will end up being curriculum dot underscore ID. Okay, so I think that works. I mean, these two might not work yet, so let me just comment those out so I know they're not working. Patch type. Oh, I do need to pull in the correct function. So I'll do, where is it? Patch type here. I am passing in type. Yeah, and I'm using it here. So resource or project. Let me see actually what type will be. So it'll be projects or resources, And on the back end, I'm expecting, yeah, projects or resources, but I'm not ever checking here. So we're here, yeah. So let's see. Let me test this out real quick and see. Oh, it's working. Find, so I didn't find anything. Doesn't seem to be. Oh, I need to. This.patch curriculum is not a function. I must, oh yeah, I forgot to update it everywhere here. So patch type, I need to put it here. All right. Let me clear my console. And, okay. That's promising. My patch came back with a 200. Sweet. Is completed is true. So now if I refresh, the checkbox is checked. Yes, and that's coming, or I guess this is coming from the server. So now it came fresh from the server and it's not checked. But let's see. Because it was on, because where is it? This overwrites it in the front end state without pulling again from the server. So let's see. Let me look at the REST client. So let me get. So test curriculum. Hey Alex, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, let me send a GET request to this test one. And I get it back. And is completed as false for both. Okay, so now let me here. And I'm sending this. And now it's saying is completed as true. So let's see. Is completed still false. Which is weird. So let's see why that is. So here's my API logic. And it's sending back the updated item, which is the correct item that we want. And it's presumably saving without error. Otherwise it would throw an error. But here, I guess, is it not finding one? Let's see. So let me make sure. Yeah, I'm in the test curriculum and let's see, 99A, 99B. Yeah, I'm sending to 99A to patch is completed is true, but yet is completed is still false. And I'm not caching the result anywhere. Let me try this one. Yeah, it says true. And let me try this again. And it's still false. And I was sending it to, yeah, 99B, the correct one. So the only explanation is that this isn't saving and it's not throwing an error either. Or it's saving and it didn't. I guess maybe I need to do item.save, because maybe it's not seeing any updates to doc here, because otherwise, you know, I'm not. Or maybe I need to do doc dot whatever and then pass it the updated item. Oh wait, I'm not doing anything with updated item. That's right. Okay, so I need to rethink what I'm doing, because this updated item is basically floating in space and then being sent back to the user without being updated in the database at all. All right. So, but what do I do here? Let's see. So I'm getting the correct item. And then here I should be doing, I guess this has to be item equals, because this is the item from the database. So, and but still, even if I overwrite the object, is it still pointing to the original object that's nested in doc? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, wait, let me try again here. What is it doing? Why is it doing that? These are both false. So let me hard refresh that. Oh, I need to pull these from the server again. There we go. All right, now it won't. Nope. All right. So what just happened? That didn't. So in actions, it's supposed to await for this patch request to come back and then commit it. Oh, I know what I did. All right. So here, I accidentally clicked on the link instead of on the checkbox. So let me do that. Now I'm getting a 500. Yeah. Because what did I do? So I think maybe I can't overwrite item, but it's not sending me back anything in the error. So let's try this. No. Oh, let me try the same call that I made here. Here we go. All right. And let me try this. So the get request worked. Now let me try a patch. And now I'm getting back the 500. So I think it's not liking that I'm updating the object ID maybe. Let me try just this. Let me try item and then no, item dot, let's say, is completed equals, and then update just that one. So let's say request.body dot is completed. And let's see if that works. Still didn't like it. Oh, but this is better. It's doing something. That's a good sign. So update 1. It's actually calling the update 1 now. Set. This is the Mongo query it's doing under the hood. So section 0, resources 0 is completed. Set it as true. And it's updated at... Cool. So it seems like it worked. Why is it sending me back a 500? Let me send a get to this endpoint now. Yeah, so it did work. So now why is the 500 sent? Oh, I know why. Because updated item no longer exists. So let me just send back item. Yeah. All right. Sweet. So I think that works now. Let's see. Now let me say is complete is false. All right. The thing is, though, it only works for is completed. So I'm just going to check each one individually. So I'm going to do if request.body.is completed. Oh, but this is false. So yeah, so I guess I'm just going to pass in the whole object to patch no matter what. Yeah. Instead of being like, oh, if it's this, then do, you know, request.body.is completed. Otherwise, use the one that's already on the item. Item dot is completed. I could do something like that, but I would have to check, because this is a Boolean value, I would have to check if it's, you know, undefined instead of just being, because it's already, it could be a valid falsy value because it could be true or false. So instead of that, I'm just going to assume that you're passing in the whole object for right now. So I'm going to do .name and .url. Okay, and that way the ID isn't being overwritten, and this is only, you know, 3 items anyway. It's not a huge deal. It's not like I'm passing in a ton of different things. Oh, request.body. Let me pull these off too. Let me put this at the beginning. So const, let's see, is completed. Request.body. And request.body.name. No, what am I doing? Name and URL. Okay. And then I don't need all this extra stuff in here. Okay, so this should work. That was weird how when it sent me back the error, it didn't even tell me that that was undefined. It just sent me back an empty object. Weird. Okay. So now let me see. Put that as true. Oh, good. So what am I doing now? That's wrong. Doing something wrong. Because this was working before, but now that it's a name and URL. Oh, because I'm not sending those in. Oh, it says name is required. Yeah. So I have to send those in basically now. So that's fine. I mean, oh well. Let me see in actions what I'm doing. So I am sending in the whole item after all. So that's not even a big deal because I'm already doing it. So let me see here. Let me go to, so I pulled this in fresh and Now that's not checked off. Why is this not checked off? Let me see. Well, let me get here too. So it's completed as false, right? So, oh, so that's correct, yeah. So there, and now the patch request worked. So now it's completed, should be true. And now, let's see. Oh, it's already an hour and 15 minutes. It just flew by. Okay, so now that's working. Let me pull in from the API again. And yes, it's working. The checkboxes are working. Okay. There's definitely some other things I need to clean up because these have to be working. I should be able to update a section, the type, or the curriculum. These don't work yet, these items. And then, yeah, I should be able to update these. I should be able to update the section name. And then I should be able to update this too. So I should be able to update the name and the link. So I need these little edit things here too. So I'll add that. I'd like to do something like an easy win at the beginning of next time. So I think I'm going to take this home page and some of the other pages and implement the new layouts and color schemes next time, which my next stream is tomorrow. This week is kind of crazy because I'm leaving for a conference overseas this weekend. So I'm trying to get ready, finish up everything that I need to. And then next week, I'm not sure if I can live stream. I might do an impromptu live stream because I'm bringing a mic with me. So we'll see. And then if I have time, maybe I'll just hop on and do a live stream. Otherwise, I'll be back on a 3 per week schedule starting in February. Yeah, I'm also going to be filling out some more issues. Actually, let me see dev tasks to save individual object. So I feel like I did that. I am going to add a task to, fix this because I do need this to be able to, I need an endpoint for this, and then I need, patch for this might already work, but I do need an endpoint for sections. So I'm going to split this out into another file, add sections at some point. I'm going to add a task for that here. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you can make it on the live stream tomorrow night. I believe it's at 8 p.m. tomorrow night on Eastern Standard Time. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to open your own issue on this repo, or you can just leave a comment in the YouTube comments below. So I'll see you in the next stream tomorrow night. Bye. Take care.